Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we're talking about something emotional and very human. But before we begin, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments.
We really enjoy reading your opinions. And today's question might feel very personal to you.
So here it is. Why do we romanticize the past? Why does everything seem better back then?
That's such an interesting question. I think nostalgia plays a big role. Nostalgia makes the past feel warmer and softer than it really was.
When I think about my childhood, I remember happiness and freedom. I remember summer evenings and simple moments, but I don't clearly remember the stress or the problems.
That's because memory is selective. Our brain doesn't store everything equally. It often keeps the emotional highlights and removes the negative details.
So you're saying the past wasn't necessarily better? It just feels better now? That sounds almost disappointing.
Not disappointing, just realistic. Memory distortion is natural. The brain edits experiences over time.
But I don't think it's only distortion. Sometimes the past really was simpler. We had fewer responsibilities and less pressure.
That's true in some cases. But we also had fewer choices and less control. We often forget those limitations.
Maybe we compare our complicated present to a simplified version of the past. We remove the problems from memory, and we keep the comfort.
Exactly. Nostalgia creates emotional comfort. It gives us psychological safety.
So nostalgia is like emotional comfort food. It feels warm and safe, especially when the present feels uncertain.
Yes, especially during stress. When life feels unstable, we look backward for stability. The past becomes a safe place in our mind.
But is romanticizing the past dangerous? Can it stop us from appreciating the present, or even from building a better future?
It can become a problem if we escape into it. If we constantly say, everything was better before, we might ignore opportunities now.
So maybe nostalgia should inspire us, not trap us. We can remember the good moments, but still accept reality.
I like that idea. The past can give meaning, but the present creates growth.
So here's a deeper question. Was the past really better, or were we just younger?
I believe being younger changes perception a lot. When we are young, responsibilities are lighter. That makes life feel easier.
That's true, but I'm not fully convinced. Some periods in life really are simpler. For example, before social media and constant comparison.
That's a fair argument. Modern life definitely adds pressure, but every generation had its own challenges.
When I was younger, I had fewer worries about the future. I didn't think about career, money, or reputation. Maybe that freedom makes the past look better.
Exactly. Youth often comes with optimism. We expect the future to be exciting.
But now we have more experience and independence. We can make our own decisions. That's something we didn't have before.
That's true. We forget that we once wanted the freedom we have now. The past may feel safer, but the present offers more control.
So maybe it's not about the past being better. Maybe it's about how we remember it. Youth adds a filter to memory.
Yes, youth and innocence. When you experience something for the first time, it feels intense. First friendships, first love, first achievements.
First experiences always feel magical, and we rarely repeat that intensity. That might be why the past feels special.
Exactly. It's not necessarily better, it's just new.
So maybe we don't miss the past itself. We miss the version of ourselves from that time, the younger, more hopeful version.
That's deep. Maybe nostalgia is less about time and more about identity.
That makes me think differently. Instead of saying, life was better, maybe we should ask, what did I value back then?
I like that perspective. Instead of going backward, we can bring those values into the present. That way, nostalgia becomes inspiration.
Thomas, can you remember a moment when nostalgia changed how you see the present? Maybe a memory that surprised you, or made you rethink something?
Yes, actually. A few years ago, I visited my old school. I expected to feel pure happiness.
And did you? Was it as magical as you imagined, or was it different?
It was different. The building looked smaller than I remembered. And suddenly, I realized something important.
What did you realize? I'm curious now. What changed your perspective?
I realized the place wasn't magical. I was just younger and more curious. The magic was inside me, not in the building.
That's powerful. So nostalgia wasn't about the school. It was about your mindset back then.
Exactly. I understood that I can still create that curiosity now. I don't need to go back in time.
I had a similar experience. I once looked at old photos from university. I thought those were the best years of my life.
Many people say that. University is often romanticized. What did you discover?
I remembered feeling lost and stressed back then. I was worried about the future. But today, I only remembered the fun parts.
So your brain edited the difficult emotions. It kept the highlights. That's memory distortion again.
Yes, and it made me appreciate the present more. I realized I'm actually more stable and confident now.
That's interesting. So nostalgia helped you see progress, not just loss.
Exactly. Instead of saying life was better, I started saying life was different. Maybe nostalgia becomes healthy when it teaches us something, not when it makes us escape reality. It can show growth instead of regret.
I like that distinction. The past can be a teacher, but it shouldn't be a permanent destination.
So, why does nostalgia increase during difficult times? Why do we miss the past more when life feels hard? There must be a psychological reason.
There definitely is. During stress, the brain looks for emotional safety, and the past often feels safe.
So, nostalgia works like protection? Like a mental escape? Almost like emotional shelter?
Exactly. When the present feels uncertain, the brain prefers familiar memories.
That makes sense. Difficult periods create anxiety about the future, and the past feels predictable.
Yes, even if the past wasn't perfect, we already survived it.
So the brain thinks, that time was safe because I made it through. That's interesting. It's less about happiness and more about certainty.
Exactly. Certainty reduces anxiety, and nostalgia provides certainty.
But isn't that a little dangerous? If we constantly escape to the past, we might avoid solving present problems.
That's true. Nostalgia can become avoidance, especially if someone feels stuck.
So nostalgia can be healthy or unhealthy depending on intention. If it gives comfort, it's positive. If it replaces action, it's harmful.
I completely agree. Psychologists even say nostalgia can increase resilience. It reminds us of connection and identity.
Resilience? How does that work? That sounds positive.
When we remember past successes, we remember that we overcame challenges before. That builds confidence.
So nostalgia can strengthen self-belief. It's not only about sadness, it can be empowering.
Exactly. But balance is key. We should use nostalgia as support, not as an escape.
So during difficult times, nostalgia increases because we need comfort. But growth still happens in the present. That's an important reminder.
Very important. The past can calm us, but the present shapes our future.
So here's a slightly controversial question. Is nostalgia mostly healthy or mostly harmful?
I believe it's mostly healthy. Nostalgia connects us to meaningful experiences. It strengthens identity.
I'm not sure I agree completely. I think nostalgia can easily become harmful, especially if someone lives in the past.
That's true, but living in the past is an extreme case. In moderate amounts, nostalgia increases positive emotion. It reminds us of love, friendship, and growth.
But what about people who constantly say, everything was better before? That mindset can block progress.
Yes, that attitude can be limiting, but the problem there is mindset, not nostalgia itself. Nostalgia becomes harmful when it turns into comparison.
Comparison between what and what? Past and present? Or expectations and reality?
Past and present mainly. If the present never feels good enough, nostalgia becomes an escape mechanism.
That's exactly my concern. When people romanticize old relationships or old versions of themselves, they might avoid self-improvement.
But sometimes nostalgia motivates improvement. For example, remembering a time when you were confident can inspire you to rebuild that confidence.
That's a fair point. So nostalgia can either weaken or strengthen motivation. It depends on how we use it.
Exactly. Nostalgia is neutral. Our interpretation gives it power.
Maybe the real question is this: does nostalgia make you feel stuck, or does it make you feel grateful?
That's a strong distinction. Gratitude leads to stability. Regret leads to frustration.
So maybe nostalgia is healthy when it increases gratitude, and harmful when it increases dissatisfaction. That feels balanced.
I completely agree with that. The past should comfort us, not control us. It should inform the present, not replace it.
Today we talked about nostalgia from different angles. We discussed memory distortion, emotional comfort, and identity. And we asked whether the past was really better or just different.
We also explored how nostalgia increases during difficult times and whether it helps us grow or keeps us stuck. It seems the answer depends on how we use it.
Maybe nostalgia is not the problem. Maybe the problem is how we interpret it. It can create gratitude or regret.
Exactly. It can remind us of strength, or it can make us feel weaker.
So now we want to ask you something. When you think about the past, how does it make you feel? Does nostalgia make you stronger or weaker?
Write your answer in the comments. We'd really like to read your perspective. Your experience might help someone else too.
And if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like the video. Subscribe to the channel for more English listening practice and thoughtful discussions. We'll see you in the next episode.
Thank you for being here with us. Take care.